So in this video, we'll be solving an exponential equation. You can see that we have two right there. We have one with a denominator and one with a numerator. So that means we're going to be using both sides of a positive and negative exponents. On both equations, we have 6 as the base and x minus 4 as the exponent. And we have some rules that we have to lay down here. You can see one side we have a numerator, and the other side, the right-hand side equation, we have a denominator. Okay, let's look at the rules. First rule is both sides must be written with the same base. I have a 6 on one side, so that 1296 must be written with a base of 6. Okay, on the other side we have a 1296 in the denominator, and it also has to be written with a 6. So you've got to make sure that that's done. Now, rule number 2, when bases are the same, you can set the exponents equal to each other. And what that will give us in step 2 is an equation to solve. And then step 3 is we want to solve that equation for the x. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. Let's take 1296. And I think the best thing to do is start dividing this out. Okay, here we go. We got 1296. We divide by 6. Get out my calculator here. So 1296 divided by 6 gives me 216. I divide that by 6, I get 36. I divide that by 6, I get 6, and I divide 6 by 6, I get 1. So remember, we have to count all the way to the 1. Now you can see that I divided by 6 4 times. That means that 6 raised to the 4th power has to be equal to 6 raised to the x minus 4 power. So I'm just writing these 6 down so we can show that on our notes. So remember, we always have to go back to 1, and you can see that I have 4 6s. I'd really appreciate it if you showed that on your paper, especially to let me see that you know how to do this and that you're counting right. So now we're going to set the left-hand sides and right-hand sides equal to each other, write them with the same base. So 6 raised to the x minus 4 has to be equal to 6 to the 4th. So we wrote both sides with the same base. We know we divided 6 into 1296 4 times to get back to 1. And now it says in step 2, when the bases are the same, we can set the exponents equal to each other. And for the last step, we have to solve the equation that we have. So we're going to add 4 to each side to get a negative 4 to go to 0. And I get x equals 8. So when x equals 8, that equation will be equal to 1296. And you can see that if I take 8 minus 4, it does equal 4, which is 6 to the 4th power. So that's kind of a quick way that we can check that because these are so simple. All right, let me move these rules over so I can have some more room to work. Now you can see that the bottom number is 6 to the 4th, and so the bottom number is 1296. So if I know the numerator is 6 to the 4th equals 1296, that tells me from the other video that you watched that 6 to the negative 4th has to be equal to 1 over 1296, right? Remember, if it's in the denominator, the exponent changes sign. It's in the denominator, so that positive 4 changes to a negative 4. Now let's go ahead and set our exponents equal to each other because we have the same base. We're allowed to do that. And then we'll come up with an equation. X minus 4 equals a negative 4. Add 4 to each side. So that says x equals 0. So for on the first equation, we found out that x is equal to 8. And on the second equation, we found out that x equals 0. So those were the two solutions to that. So thank you.